Good evening everyone, my name is Vijay Gupta and you are watching biology classes. So welcome to all of you in this lecture of biology. Students, in this lecture we will continue our last topic, that was human digestive gland. In my last video, as I described the human digestive glands, liver and pancreas in a very short way. But in this video, it is a detailed video on human liver. So let's start the video. Now we'll talk about the liver in detail. So first of all, it is very important to understand what is liver. Liver is an important organ present in our body associated with our digestive tract. As you can see in the diagram on the screen, the liver is situated right side of the digestive system. It is the largest gland of our body and second largest organ of the body. So first point is the liver is the largest gland of our body. Our body consists of different glands, but the liver is the largest gland of the body. It is the second largest organ of our body. As we know that the largest organ of our body is the skin, which is present throughout the body. So skin is the largest organ, while the second largest organ of the body is liver. The weight of the liver is about 1.2 to 1.5 kg in an adult. So in an adult, the weight of the liver is 1.2 to 1.5 kg or more than that. Next point is the location of the liver. So the liver is located in the upper right section of the abdominal cavity. As you can see on the screen, the abdominal cavity, at the right portion of the abdominal cavity, upper right portion, the liver is situated. So inside the abdominal cavity, liver is situated in the upper right section. It is a reddish brown color gland. So as you can see in this diagram, I made the reddish brown color of the liver. Next thing is, liver consists of total 4 lobes. In my last video, I told you that in front of the liver, you can say there are 2 lobes only, but actually there are total 4 lobes. This largest lobe is known as the right lobe of the liver. This one is the left lobe of the liver, while to the back side of the liver, there are 2 another lobes which are known as caudate and caudate. So the liver consists of total 4 lobes, the right lobe, the left lobe, and on the back side, the caudate lobe and the caudate lobe. So there are total 4 lobes present in the liver. The next point is liver produce bile juice. So as I told you before, bile juice is an important digestive juice which produced in liver, is stored in the gallbladder and reaches in the digestive system or the intestine with the help of biliary system and helps in the digestion of fat. It actually emulsifies the fat molecules, means it breaks the fat molecules into small pieces. So the liver produces bile juice which is stored in the gallbladder. As you can see this greenish structure, it is the gallbladder. The liver cells produce the bile juice which is stored in the gallbladder. Bile juice secreted through a biliary system which consists of. Now what about biliary system? It is described in my last video in a very detailed way. What is biliary system? So you can check out that video. I provide the link in the description box. So in short, I will tell you. Just try to understand what you mean by biliary system or the biliary tree. As we know, these are the lobes of liver. The lobes of the liver are made up of thousands of cells which are known as hepatocytes or hepatic cells. These hepatic cells produce bile juice. This bile juice is stored in the gallbladder. But how it is stored in the gallbladder? From the left lobe, left hepatic duct arises. From the right lobe, right hepatic duct arises. Both the lobes carries bile juice towards the gallbladder. Now both the ducts fuse together first and to form a common hepatic duct. This common hepatic duct carries the digestive juice, bile juice inside the gallbladder. From gallbladder, it enters into the intestine for digestion. But how it is possible? From the gallbladder, a duct arises which is known as cystic duct. This cystic duct fuses with the common hepatic duct and to form common bile duct. Don't be confused. This is the right hepatic duct, left hepatic duct, both fuse together and to form common hepatic duct. When this common hepatic duct fuses with the cystic duct, it forms common bile duct. And this common bile duct fuses with the pancreatic duct. Now what about pancreatic duct? Another important digestive gland present in human digestive system is pancreas, and pancreas also produce pancreatic juice. So the pancreatic juice also enters into the duodenum. Duodenum is the initial part of small intestine. So this tree-shaped structure is duodenum. This is the pancreas which produces pancreatic juice, and this pancreatic juice enters into the duodenum through the biliary system. At first, the pancreatic duct fuses with the common bile duct. So this is the common bile duct, this is the pancreatic duct, both fuse together and to form hepatopancreatic duct or hepatopancreatic ampulla, which is also known as ampulla of Vater. Both are fused together and opens into the duodenum through a sphincter or a valve, which is known as sphincter of Oddi. So this is the biliary system by which our bile juice is stored in the gallbladder and reaches in the duodenum, the initial part of the small intestine, and helps in digestion. So it was a basic information. The bile juice secreted through the biliary system or the biliary tree, which consists of following components like right and left hepatic duct, as you can see here. Common hepatic duct, this is the common hepatic duct. Cystic duct, so this is the cystic duct. The common bile duct, this is the common bile duct. And the hepatopancreatic duct or ampulla, so this is the hepatopancreatic duct or ampulla, which opens into the duodenum. So it was all about the general information about the liver. Now we'll talk about the different lobes of the liver, the anatomy and the functions of the liver. So now we'll talk about all 4 lobes of liver. As I told you before that there are 2 lobes in the liver. As you can see in this diagram, this largest lobe is known as right lobe of the liver and this lobe is known as left lobe of the liver. But if we observe from the back side, then we will find that there are total 4 lobes present in the liver. This one is known as the right lobe of the liver. This one is the left lobe of the liver, and another lobe is present just above the left lobe, which is known as caudate lobe. It is present just near the inferior vena cava, by which the impure blood enters into the body from the liver. So this is the caudate lobe. Another small lobe is present at the lower side, which is known as quadrate lobe. So there are total 4 lobes present in the liver: the right lobe, the left lobe, the caudate lobe and the quadrate lobe. Another important structure is present here. You can see it's a slit like a structure present known as porta hepatis or the liver gate, by which bile duct, portal vein, hepatic artery, all these important structures enters and leave from the liver. So I will tell you about the detail about porta hepatis. Now we'll talk about the porta hepatis, or you can say liver gate. This is the liver and some important structures enters into the liver through a minute pore, or you can say a fissure or a gate, which is called as porta hepatis. So this is the porta hepatis, an entry gate into the liver, by which 3 important ducts. Number 1, bile duct, which receive the bile juice from the liver. Second one, portal vein. Portal vein is the vein which enters into the liver from the digestive tract and which carries nutrient rich blood from the digestive system and enters into the liver. Whatever we eat, the intestinal wall absorbs the food material or the nutrients. This absorbed food material mixed with blood and enters to the portal vein, and this portal vein carries these nutrients with the help of blood into the liver with the help of portal vein. So the portal vein, the bile duct which carries the bile juice, and the hepatic artery, these 3 important structures enters inside the liver through a gateway which is called as porta hepatis. So the porta hepatis or the hilum of the liver is a deep short transverse fissure which is situated at the lower side, or you can say ventral side of the liver, on the inferior surface of the liver, where major vessels and ducts enters and leave the liver. So these are the major important ducts which enters, these 2 enters and this is leave from the liver. So deep enters liver, such as portal vein, this is the portal vein, hepatic artery and common bile duct. So these are the some important structures which enters and leave the liver with the help of this structure which is known as porta hepatis. Students, now we will talk about the blood supply in liver. So liver is an unique organ of our body which receive dual blood supply. It is surprising to know that generally all the organs receive a single blood supply, but in case of liver it receive dual blood supply. So it is the dual blood supply in liver. Our liver receive blood in 2 ways: the oxygenated blood from the hepatic artery, while the nutrient rich blood from the digestive tract through hepatic portal vein. So as you can see in this diagram, I will explain the diagram first. This is the liver, and the liver receive the blood in 2 ways. This is the aorta, which carries the pure blood to the lower part of the body from the heart. As we know, our heart is situated here. The oxygenated blood moves towards the lower parts of the body to the descending aorta. So this is the descending aorta, carries the blood to the different parts of the body. From this aorta, hepatic artery arises, which carries oxygen-rich blood into the liver. This is the single blood supply. Another blood supply, this is the gastrointestinal tract, or you can see the digestive tract. Our digestive system also refers as gastrointestinal tract. So as we eat food, the nutrients of the food absorbed by the intestine and different parts of digestive system. This absorbed food is mixed with blood and moves towards the liver with the help of hepatic portal vein. So this hepatic portal vein carries nutrient-rich blood from the digestive tract or the gastrointestinal tract and opens into the liver. So as you can see, this is the digestive tract and this is the hepatic portal vein, which carries nutrient-rich blood from the digestive tract into the liver. So these are the two ways of blood supply inside the liver, hence it is known as dual supply of the liver. Another thing, this is the hepatic vein. The impure blood of the liver, or you can say oxygen poor blood from the liver, enters into the hepatic vein, and this hepatic vein attached with the inferior vena cava. As we know, the inferior vena cava carries impure blood from the lower parts of the body towards the heart. When it is going towards the heart, it receives impure blood from the liver through the hepatic vein. So hepatic vein carries the impure blood to the inferior vena cava, which further moves towards the heart for purification. Now, so as you can see in this diagram, there are three ways. Two ways which shows the supply of the blood, hepatic artery and hepatic portal vein. Another is hepatic vein, by which the impure blood of the liver enters into the inferior vena cava. So this is the dual blood supply of liver. The liver receive a dual blood supply. As we know, as I told you before, the liver receive a dual blood supply about 70% from the portal vein. This portal vein carries the blood, about 75% blood to the liver, carrying nutrient rich blood, and it is the nutrient rich blood because it comes from the digestive tract and the absorbed food material is mixed in this blood. While the 25% from the hepatic artery. For the general blood circulation, the hepatic artery carries 25% of blood, delivering oxygenated blood, and it is the oxygen-rich blood which enters into the liver through the hepatic artery. So it was all about the blood supply of the liver. Okay students, so now we'll talk about the anatomy of liver. The anatomy, or you can say the histology of the liver, or internal structure of the liver. As we know, our liver consists of total 4 lobes, and each lobe made up of numerous basic functional and structural units which are known as the hepatic lobules. So our liver consists of thousands of hepatic lobe, and each hepatic lobe is a structural and functional unit of our liver. So as you can see in this diagram, different kinds of cells you can see in this diagram. So I will explain a hepatic lobule by which you will easily understand the anatomy of the liver. So first of all, I am going to explain the diagram, the name, the leveling, the functions of each cell. In the center, as you can see, this blue colored structure, that is called central vein. The central vein receives the blood from the hepatic lobule and carry this blood towards the hepatic vein, and from the hepatic vein this impure blood enters into the inferior vena cava and finally reaches to the heart. Now after that, this central vein receives the impure blood. Next is these cells, as you can see, these rows, these peripheral rows which arises from the central vein and moves towards the periphery. These cells which I made with orange brown color, these are called as hepatocytes or the hepatic cells. The liver consists of cells which are known as hepatocytes or the hepatic cells. These hepatic cells perform a special function. These hepatic cells produce a bile juice which store in the gallbladder and perform a very important function in the digestion. Actually, it emulsified the fat, means it breaks the fat into small pieces. So it plays a very important role in our digestion. So these cells or hepatocytes produce bile juice. This bile juice carries through these canaliculi which are known as bile canaliculi. As you can see with green color, between the cells, between the hepatocytic cells, a space, or you can see canal is present, which is known as bile canaliculi. The bile juice produced by the hepatocyte cells enters into the bile canaliculi and finally reaches in these green colored veins, which are known as bile duct. So bile duct receive the bile juice from the bile canaliculi. After that, you can see this pink colored area, which I made with dark pink color. So these are the space, or you can say blood capillaries, which are present between the hepatocyte cells or the hepatocytes. So these are the blood capillaries which are known as sinusoid, a very important structure, sinusoid, which is present in the hepatic lobule. So sinusoids are the blood capillaries present between the hepatocytic cells. These sinusoids receive the blood from hepatic artery and portal vein. Now, I will tell you in detail. As you can see, this is a hexagonal structure. A hepatic lobule is a hexagonal structure. On each corner of this hepatic lobule, 3 canals you can see, which are known as portal triad. Tri means 3. So this is called portal triad, and this portal triad consists of 3 different structures. First one is hepatic artery. It is the branch of hepatic artery which carries the pure blood inside the liver. So this is the branch of hepatic artery. The second one is portal vein. Portal vein, what is portal vein? As I described before, a hepatic portal vein enters into the liver from the digestive system, which carries nutrient rich blood inside the liver. So inside the liver, nutrient rich blood carries through the portal vein, and this portal vein flows this word into the sinusoid. So there are total 3 structures, and these 3 structures are collectively known as portal triad, in which one is hepatic artery, carries the pure blood. Second one is the portal vein, which carries the nutrient rich blood from the digestive system, and both the arteries and veins flow the blood inside the sinusoid, and this sinusoid carry this blood into the central vein, which you can see in the center, and this central vein moves forward this blood to the hepatic vein. Now, in these sinusoids, you can see small cells are also present, which are I made with yellow orange colored. These cells are known as Kupffer cells, and the function of Kupffer cell is to maintain the immune system. These are macrophage cells which destroy the different toxic substances or any foreign particle inside the liver. So they maintain the defense system or immune system of the liver. So they perform a very special function inside the hepatic lobule. So you can say the hepatic lobule is the structural and functional unit of the liver. As you can see in the definition, the hepatic lobule is the structural and functional unit of the liver. So this is a single hepatic lobule which consists of these following parts. As you can see, hepatocytes, these are the hepatocyte cells or hepatic cells in which bile juice is produced. Sinusoids, as you can see, these are the blood capillaries present between the hepatic cells, are known as sinusoid, which carries blood from hepatic artery and portal vein towards the central vein. Next is central vein. This is the central vein which receives the blood from the sinusoids and moves toward the hepatic vein. Next is portal triad. As I told you before, these structures, group of 3 canals is known as portal triad, which consists of portal hepatic artery, portal vein and bile duct, and finally the bile canaliculi, a space or a canal present between the hepatic cells which receive the bile juice from the hepatocytic cells and carry towards the hepatic vein, towards the bile duct, and finally store into the gallbladder. So it was the structure of a hepatic lobule, or you can say anatomy of the liver. So students, now we'll talk about the last topic of the video, that is functions of liver. After the structure, morphology, anatomy and detailed explanation of the liver, now I will tell you about the functions of liver. Liver is a very important organ in our body, but it performs various functions, but here I give you some important one. So first of all, the metabolism. Now what about metabolism? The sum of all the chemical reactions takes place in the body is known as metabolism. As we know that different chemical activities, chemical reactions takes place continuously in our body, and these are collectively known as metabolism. Metabolism are further divided into anabolism and catabolism. When our body obtain any substance like nutrition, then it is known as anabolic activity. when something reduced from the body, like respiration, in which glucose reduce and energy provide. So this is called the catabolic activity. Both anabolic and catabolic activity are collectively known as metabolism. So different metabolism, or you can say different metabolic activities takes place inside the body with the help of liver. So first one is carbohydrate metabolism. As we know, glucose, glycogen, these are the various forms of carbohydrate. When the glucose converted into glycogen or the glycogen converted into glucose, the phenomenon is known as carbohydrate metabolism. So all the chemical reactions which are related to carbohydrate are termed as carbohydrate metabolism, and liver plays a very important role in carbohydrate metabolism. Next one is protein metabolism. Different kinds of proteins produced or break inside the liver. So liver also perform all the chemical reactions related to the protein. So protein metabolism also takes place inside the liver. Next one is fat metabolism. Fat, or you can say lipid metabolism also takes in our liver. So these are the various forms of food present in our body: carbohydrate, protein and fat. So different metabolic activities or the chemical reactions related to these food takes place inside the liver, which are collectively known as metabolism. Next function of liver is bile production. As I told you 2 to 3 times in this video, that our liver produces a bile juice which is stored in the gallbladder. So the next function is the bile production. So liver produces bile juice, which is an important digestive juice which digests the fat molecules. Next one is immune function. As I told you before, that inside the liver hepatic lobules are present. Inside the lobules, sinusoids are present, and inside the sinusoids, some important cells are present which are known as Kupffer cells. These Kupffer cells play an important role inside the liver, which is the immune function. They destroy the different foreign particles or any bacteria or any substance which is harmful for the body. So these Kupffer cells helps to maintain the immune function of the liver. Next one is detoxification. In our body, different kinds of toxins may be present, or some medicines, drugs, any foreign particle, etc. So the liver neutralizes these toxins and drugs and remove from the body. So detoxification also takes place in the liver. Next function is storage of vitamin and minerals. Our liver is a storage center of different kinds of nutrients, different kind of food material, different kinds of vitamins and minerals. So it is a very important function of the liver. Next one is formation of urea. Urea, as we know that human is an ureotelic animal, means we exerted urea in our urine. So the urine formed in the kidney, while the precursor of urine, which is urea, formed inside the liver. So with the help of ammonia and carbon dioxide, liver produce urea, and through a cycle which is known as ornithine cycle. So the ornithine cycle is a phenomenon takes place inside the liver, in which CO2 and ammonia converted into urea. So the formation of urea is the main function of liver. Next is synthesis, various proteins and enzymes. Various proteins and enzymes which require in our body are synthesized inside the liver. Another function is production of clotting factor. As we know, blood clotting is an important process takes place in our body. Whenever we injured and bleeding occurs, so after 7 to 8 minutes the blood clot forms, which requires different coagulation factors, and these coagulation factors which are present in the blood are synthesized inside the liver. So the production of clotting factors takes place inside the liver. And the last function of liver is storage and release of energy. So glucose obtained from the food provide us energy. The extra glucose converted into glycogen and stored in the liver. So the storage of glucose takes place inside the liver in the form of glycogen. When we need energy, this glycogen again converted into or breaks into glucose to provide energy. So the storage and release of energy takes place in the liver by the conversion of glucose to glycogen and glycogen to glucose. So these are the functions of the liver. So in this video, I told you a detailed structure of liver, the anatomy, the morphology, the histology, the functions of the liver. So all the things, I think all the things are very clear to you. Still, if you want to ask any question, any confusion, any query, you may ask in the comment section. I will try my best to reply you. See you soon in my next lecture, that is based on the pancreas, another important digestive gland in human body. So thanks for watching. Have a good day.